You don't carry a wallet anymore. You don't carry a passport. You don't carry a single piece of paper that proves you exist. Because all of that, your name, your money, your home, your history, lives inside a chip, about the size of a grain of rice, sitting right behind your ear. It sounds convenient. It sounds like the future. But what happens when the future decides you were never there? This is the story of a man the world forgot how to see. It's 2041, and the transition happened quietly, the way most dangerous things do. First, cash disappeared, then physical cards. Then, around 2036, most governments moved to what they called the Unified Identity Protocol, the UIP. One chip, one signal, one source of truth for everything that makes you, you. Your neural identity chip connects to every system that matters: your bank account, your transit pass, your medical history, your employment record, your apartment lock, your internet access, even your voting registration. The chip doesn't just verify your identity, it is your identity. And for most people, it works perfectly. Daniel Mercer is nobody special, and he'd be the first to tell you that. He works in data compliance, ironic given what happens next. He rents a studio apartment on the 14th floor of a mid-tier residential block. Every morning, before he does anything else, he puts on the same song. An old one, from the 2020s, something his mother used to play in the kitchen when he was a kid. He kept a copy of that photo in cloud storage, linked to his chip profile, the only thing he backed up that wasn't practical. Every month, without fail, he transfers 200 credits to her account. She lives 3 cities away. They don't talk much anymore, but the transfer goes out on the 1st. Always. Subway turnstile, chip pings, gate opens, coffee counter, chip pings, 4.20 credits deducted. Office lobby, chip pings. Good morning, Daniel. His entire life runs on frictionless autopilot, clean, efficient, invisible. He never thinks about the chip. Why would he? You don't think about your heartbeat either. It starts on a Tuesday. Daniel gets home from work, stands in front of his apartment door like he has 1,000 times before, and the scanner rejects him. Access denied. He laughs, genuinely laughs. Glitches happen. He puts his head to the scanner again. Still nothing. He tries the metro to go back to his office. The turnstile gate doesn't open. He tries to pay for a coffee while he waits. Payment declined. He opens his phone to call his mother, tell her something weird is happening, maybe laugh about it. The call won't connect. His account has no verified identity attached to it. He stands on the street. It's getting dark, and a very specific kind of cold is starting to settle in, not in the air, but somewhere behind his ribs. He finds the nearest government identity terminal, a kiosk stationed outside a civic center. He scans his chip. Identity record not found. He scans again. Identity record not found. He enters his chip ID manually, a 16-digit number he memorized years ago, the way people used to memorize phone numbers. The system returns 0 results. His chip ID doesn't exist in the central registry. Not corrupted, not flagged, not suspended, just absent, as if it was never entered. To the system, Daniel Mercer doesn't exist. What follows is the systematic collapse of a life. His bank account is frozen, not because he did anything wrong, but because the bank's verification layer can no longer confirm he's authorized to access it. It belongs to an identity that, as far as the central server is concerned, was never registered. His employment file returns an error. His medical records, 11 years of them, are gone. His apartment lease is invalid. He tries to send the monthly transfer to his mother. The system won't process it. No verified sender. The photo is gone too. Not stolen, not corrupted, just automatically purged, because the account it belonged to no longer has a recognized identity attached to it. He doesn't have a single copy anywhere else. And here's the detail that should make your skin crawl. The city's AI surveillance network, the one that auto-tags every pedestrian, can't tag Daniel. Cameras see his shape, but when the system tries to resolve his face to a chip ID, nothing. To every automated system in the city, he is classified as unregistered individual. He is a ghost, walking through a city that has simply stopped being able to perceive him. After 2 nights sleeping in a transit station, because even emergency shelters require chip registration, Daniel finds a technician. Not an official one, the kind who operates in the quiet margins, who still owns hardware from before the UIP, who remembers how things worked before one server knew everything. The technician scans the chip. It works. The hardware is perfect. The signal is clean. The chip is broadcasting exactly what it should. He says, "Your chip is fine, but the central identity server shows no record of your registration." Then he pauses, types something, leans closer to the screen. "There's something else. Your chip ID, it's been reassigned. Someone else is using Daniel's identity number. Not a glitch, not a duplicate. A clean, system-level reassignment. Daniel's 16-digit ID, actively registered to a different person. Different name, different face, different life. As if Daniel's slot in the system was quietly made available and filled." The technician has seen this once before. "Not an accident," he says. "These don't happen by accident." He lowers his voice. "There's a process. It runs automatically. It scans for identities that show low activity scores, people with no dependents, no property ownership, no significant financial footprint. People the system classifies as low yield. It flags them, and eventually, it recycles them. The system didn't forget Daniel Mercer. It decided he wasn't worth the storage." We talk about digital identity like it's a convenience, like it's progress. And maybe it is. But Daniel's story reveals something we don't like to say out loud. In a world where identity is fully digital, you don't own who you are. You are assigned it. By a system you didn't design. Maintained by people you'll never meet. Running on logic that has never once considered your name. And when that system decides you're no longer useful enough to remember, there won't be an error message. There won't be a warning. There will just be a Tuesday morning, a scanner that turns red, and a slow, quiet realization that the world hasn't ended. It's just moved on, without you, and without leaving a single record that you were ever there. The system didn't make a mistake. You were the mistake. This is fiction, for now. Digital ID infrastructure, centralized identity databases, and behavioral scoring systems are already operating in several countries. The architecture for everything you just heard already exists in pieces. Subscribe, and if this one stayed with you, you already know who to send it to.